Ever heard of the Super Bowl destroying someone's life and marriage? The numbers on the screen were red. Not just a little red, but a deep, violent crimson that signaled a catastrophic hemorrhage of our financial life. I sat at the kitchen table, the morning light of February 2nd filtering through the blinds, staring at the banking app on my phone. My thumb hovered over the refresh button, trembling slightly. I pressed it again. Loading. Current balance, $2,412.50. Yesterday, that number was $12,412.50. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I felt a cold, heavy stone settle in the pit of my stomach. $10,000. Gone. In a single transaction labeled simply, XFER to EXT ACCT, Sportsbook. I looked up. My husband, Rick, was in the living room. He was wearing his lucky jersey, pacing back and forth, muttering to himself while watching ESPN. He looked manic. He looked like a man vibrating with a secret energy that he thought was excitement but was actually pure, unadulterated stupidity. "Rick," I said. My voice was quiet, barely carrying over the sound of the TV analysts shouting about point spreads. He didn't hear me. He was shadowboxing the air. "Come on, baby. Come on. Daddy needs a new truck." I stood up. My legs felt like lead. I walked into the living room and stood directly in front of the television. "Hey." Rick dodged to the side. "Sarah, move. They're talking about the prop bets for the coin toss." "Where is the money, Rick?" He froze. The shadowboxing stopped. He looked at me, and for a split second, I saw the panic flash in his eyes before he covered it with that slick, salesman grin he uses when he's trying to get out of a speeding ticket. "The money," he laughed, a nervous, high-pitched sound. "Babe, relax. I moved it. Just shifting assets. You know, for better interest rates." "It says Sportsbook, Rick." I held the phone up to his face. "You transferred $10,000 to a gambling site. That is our house down payment. That is 3 years of saving." He sighed, dropping the act. He stepped closer, putting his hands on my shoulders. I flinched. "Listen to me," he whispered, his eyes wide and intense. "It's a lock. I got a tip. A guy at work, Gary, you know Gary, he has a cousin who works in the league office. The Gatorade color. It's fixed, Sarah. It's going to be purple. It's guaranteed. Easy money. You bet $10,000 on the color of Gatorade?" I asked. The absurdity of the sentence made me feel like I was losing my mind. No, that's just part of it," he waved his hand dismissively. I parlayed it. Gatorade color, coin toss, and the spread. The odds are plus 800. Do the math, Sarah. That 10 grand is going to turn into 80 grand by next Sunday. We aren't just buying a house, we're buying the house. I did this for us. You stole from us, I said. The heat was rising in my neck now, a burning sensation that made my skin prickle. You took the money without asking. You gambled our future on a rumor from Gary's cousin. It's not gambling if you know the outcome, he shouted, getting defensive now. Why don't you trust me? I'm trying to level us up. You're always so cautious, so scared. Scared money don't make money, Sarah. We needed that money for the closing costs. I screamed back. We have an offer pending. If that money isn't there in 2 weeks, we lose the house. We won't lose it. Rick yelled, his face turning red. I'll have the money back plus 70 grand. You'll be thanking me. You'll be begging me to forgive you for doubting me. He turned his back on me. He sat down on the couch and cranked the volume on the TV. Get out of my face, he muttered. I need to focus. I have to monitor the line movement. I stood there, staring at the back of his head. I looked at the jersey he was wearing, one I bought him for his birthday. I looked at the TV he was watching, bought with the bonus I earned last year. He didn't see a partner. He saw a bank. He saw a safety net he could slash open whenever he felt lucky. Okay, I whispered. Okay, Rick. I walked back to the kitchen. I picked up my purse. I picked up my keys. Where are you going? He called out, not looking away from the screen. Errands, I said. I walked out the door. The cold February air hit me, sharpening my senses. I didn't go to the grocery store. I drove straight to the bank. It was 9:30 a.m. The branch had just opened. I walked up to the teller. I need to close a joint savings account, I said. And I need to remove a signer from the joint checking. The teller, a nice lady named Brenda who had helped us set up the account when we got married, looked at my face. She saw the red rims of my eyes. She saw the shaking hands. Is he here? She asked softly. No, I said. And he doesn't know I'm here. Okay, Brenda nodded. Since it's a joint account with or survivorship, you can withdraw the funds or close it unilaterally. But to remove him from the checking without closing it, that's trickier. It's better to just drain it and open a new one in your name only. Do it, I said. Leave $1 in there so it doesn't close automatically and send him a notification immediately. I need time. Brenda typed furiously. Checking balance, $4,500, she confirmed. Savings balance, oh dear. It's significantly lower than last time. I know, I said, my voice hard. Take the $2,400 remaining in savings. Take the $4,500 from checking. Put it all into a cashier's check made out to Sarah Jenkins. That's your maiden name, Brenda noted. It is, I said. I'm going to be using it again soon. I watched her count the bills. It wasn't much. Less than $7,000. It was all we had left in the world. And Rick thought he was going to turn the missing 10 grand into a fortune. I took the check. I walked out to my car. I sat in the driver's seat and looked at the piece of paper. This was my survival fund. This was rent. This was food. Rick had bet the house. I was betting on myself. I drove home. I didn't go inside immediately. I sat in the driveway, watching the flickering blue light of the TV through the living room window. He was still there. Probably researching prop bets on the halftime show. I opened my phone. I logged into our cell phone provider. I removed his line from my plan. I logged into Netflix. I changed the password. I logged into the electric company. I scheduled a service transfer to my name only, effective the day the lease ended next month. Then, I walked inside. Rick looked up. He looked happier now. Babe. Good news. The line moved half a point. That means the Sharps are betting with me. We're golden. I walked over to the TV. I picked up the remote. I turned it off. Hey. Rick jumped up. What is your problem? Sit down, Rick, I said. He saw my face. He saw the cold, dead look in my eyes. He sat. I went to the bank, I said. His face went pale. What? Why? I withdrew the rest of the money, I told him. The $2,400 in savings. And the $4,500 in checking. It's gone. You what? He sputtered. You can't do that. That's my money too. That's for bills. That's for rent. You spent the rent money on Gatorade colors, I reminded him. You spent the house money on a coin toss. You decided that our financial security was a chip you could play. But I'm going to win it back, he screamed. I told you. It's a sure thing. There is no such thing as a sure thing, Rick. I yelled back. But here is what is a sure thing. Rent is due on the 1st. Utilities are due on the 15th. And groceries cost money. I reached into my purse and pulled out the cashier's check. I held it up. "This is mine," I said. "This is my safety net. I am opening a new account today. You are not on it. You're stealing from me," he shouted, pointing a finger at my face. "That's financial abuse." "Financial abuse?" I laughed. It was a dark, jagged sound. "You secretly wired $10,000 to an offshore gambling site while I was sleeping. You committed financial infidelity, Rick. I'm just stopping the bleeding." "So what am I supposed to do?" he demanded, his hands shaking. I have like $50 in my wallet. I have to put gas in the truck. I have to eat." "You have a job," I said. "Wait for your paycheck." "My paycheck isn't for 2 weeks." "Then I guess you better hope that Gatorade is purple," I said. "Sarah, please," he switched tactics instantly. The anger vanished, replaced by a pathetic, wheedling tone. He tried to grab my hand. "Don't do this. We're a team. Put the money back. If I win, when I win, we'll be rich. I'll buy you a car. I promise." "If you win," I said, pulling my hand away, "you can keep it. Every cent. I don't want your gambling money. But if you lose, you are on your own." "What does that mean?" "It means I'm moving into the guest room," I said. "And next month, when the lease is up, I'm moving out. Unless you have $10,000 in that account by Friday to replace what you stole." "Friday?" he choked. "The Super Bowl isn't until Sunday. I can't get the money back until the game is over." "That sounds like a you problem," I said. I walked into the bedroom. I locked the door. The week leading up to the Super Bowl was a study in psychological deterioration. Rick didn't go to work on Monday. He called in sick. He spent the entire day on his phone, refreshing betting forums, looking for validation. He was manic. He would burst into the guest room while I was working, I work remotely, to tell me about steam moves and public money. "The public is betting on orange Gatorade," he told me on Tuesday, his eyes bloodshot. "That's good. That means the books will need purple to win to cover the liability. It confirms the fix." "I have a meeting, Rick," I said, putting on my noise-canceling headphones. By Wednesday, the fridge was empty. "Hey," he knocked on my door at dinner time. "What's for dinner?" "I made a salad," I said. "For myself." "I'm starving," he whined. "Can I borrow $20 for pizza?" "No," I said. "Check the couch cushions. Maybe you'll find some loose change." He stormed off, slamming doors. I heard him rummaging in the pantry, eating dry cereal because we were out of milk. On Thursday, the internet went out. "Sarah," he screamed from the living room. "The Wi-Fi is down. I can't check the lines." I changed the password, I texted him from the bedroom. "Wi-Fi is $80 a month. Your half is $40. Venmo me and I'll give you the new code." "You are evil," he shouted. "I need the internet to track the prop bets." "Go to the library," I replied. He actually did. He drove to the public library and sat there for 6 hours. Friday came. The deadline. I checked the joint account. $1. "Where is the money, Rick?" I asked him in the kitchen. "I told you," he snapped. "Sunday." "Wait until Sunday. Why are you so impatient?" "I'm not impatient," I said. "I'm done." I started packing boxes. Real packing. Not just a suitcase. I packed my books. I packed the good dishes. I packed the electronics I had bought. "You're bluffing," he said, watching me wrap a vase in bubble wrap. "You won't leave. We have a life here." "We had a life," I corrected. "You bet it on a coin toss." Sunday arrived. Super Bowl Sunday. The atmosphere in the house was suffocating. Rick had invited 3 of his friends over. He needed an audience. He needed validation. He bought beer with, well, I don't know what he bought it with. Maybe he pawned something. They sat in the living room, whooping and hollering. Yeah, Rick. Big money, his friend Mike yelled. You got balls of steel, man. 80 grand, baby. Rick toasted. We're going to Vegas next week. I sat in the guest room. I wasn't watching the game. I was looking at apartment listings. The game started. Here we go. Rick screamed. Coin toss. Tails. It has to be tails. My insider said tails. I heard the referee's voice on the TV. It is. Heads. Silence. That's fine. Rick shouted, his voice cracking. That's fine. That was just a hedge. The big money is on the spread. And the Gatorade. The Gatorade is the lock. I didn't come out. I just listened. The game went on. It was a close game. Stressful. I could hear Rick pacing. I could hear him cursing every time the other team scored. Cover, he screamed. Just cover the spread. The game ended. The favorite won, but they didn't cover the spread. They won by 3. Rick needed them to win by 7. No, Rick moaned. No, no, no. Dude, Mike said. That sucks. It's okay. Rick yelled, sounding desperate now. The Gatorade. The Gatorade is the big payout. Plus 800 on purple. If it's purple, we break even plus 10 grand. It's fixed. Gary said it's fixed. The winning coach was being interviewed. The players were sneaking up behind him with the cooler. I walked out to the living room doorway. I wanted to see this. Rick was on his knees. Literally on his knees in front of the TV, praying to a god he didn't believe in. Please, he whispered. Please be purple. The players dumped the bucket. Liquid splashed over the coach. It was orange. Bright, neon, undeniable orange. Rick didn't move. He stared at the screen. The orange liquid dripped down the coach's jacket. Orange? Rick whispered. But. Gary said. His friends were silent. They looked at each other. They looked at Rick. They looked at me. We should go, Mike mumbled. They filed out. They didn't say goodbye. They just left him there, kneeling on the carpet, surrounded by empty beer cans and shattered dreams. I walked over to him. Orange, I said. He looked up at me. His face was a mask of absolute devastation. He looked 10 years older than he had that morning. I lost it, he croaked. I lost it all. You lost $10,000, I said. And you lost your wife. Sarah, he grabbed my ankle. Please. I can fix this. I'll get a loan. I'll ask my dad. Your dad is retired, Rick. You want to steal from him too? He put his head on the floor and sobbed. It wasn't a dignified cry. It was the ugly, snotty crying of a child who broke a toy he was told not to touch. I have to pay rent, he wept. I have no money. You have a truck, I said. Sell it. But I love my truck. You loved gambling more, I said. I picked up my purse. I'm going to my sister's. I'll send movers for the boxes on Tuesday. Do not touch my things. Sarah, don't leave me, he wailed. I'm broke. I'm all alone. You bet on a sure thing, Rick, I said, opening the front door. You bet that I would stay no matter what you did. You lost that one too. I walked out. I drove to my sister's house. I cried the whole way. I cried for the house we didn't buy. I cried for the trust that was gone. But when I woke up the next morning, I checked my bank account. Balance, $6,912.50. It was safe. It was mine. Rick called me 20 times that day. I didn't answer. I heard from a mutual friend that he tried to fight Gary at work. He got fired. Now he has no job, no wife, and no money. He sold the truck. He had to. He's living in a studio apartment now. I bought a condo last month. Just me. It's small, but the walls are mine. The furniture is mine. And the savings account? It's growing. Slowly. But every dollar in there is real. I don't watch football anymore. I can't stand the color orange. But sometimes, when I see a commercial for a sports betting app, I smile. Because I know the odds. The house always wins. But this time? The wife won. So, tell me. Am I the monster for emptying the accounts and leaving my husband destitute after he gambled our future, or did he just fumble the ball on the 1-yard line?
If you have made it this far and want to see more videos like this, then kindly subscribe and turn on notifications so you may never miss another story like this.